is a good evening here at Hope TV, where you look and live, today being 2nd of May 2024. A very good evening to you and a warm welcome to our news bulletin tonight. My name is Nelius Wanjiru and our sign language interpreter is Monica Cheng. Let's begin where, following a sudden power blackout in most of the parts of the country, the Kenya Power and Lighting Company KPLC has issued a statement explaining the outage this Thursday evening. And the utility firm said in a statement that it encountered a system disturbance on its electrical grid on Thursday, May 2nd, 2024 at 5:40 p.m., leading to widespread power outages in the country. The disruption has resulted in inconveniences for many residents, prompting a call for patience as efforts are underway to restore normal power supply amid heavy rainfall in the Nairobi and other parts of the country this evening. And now we go on and focus on matters of floods in the country, and the number of the Kenyans who have died from the ongoing nationwide floods rose to 188 on Thursday morning as the nation continues to battle with the torrential rains. A communique from the Interior Ministry said the rising number has been occasioned by the heavy rains in Nairobi County, Kajiado, Nakuru, Mandera, and Homa Bay counties within the last 24 hours, as heavy flooding and mudslide continue to occur in Murang'a and Nakuru counties. The ministry added that an additional number of 125 people have been reported injured and 90 persons are currently missing, while an appropriate of 165,500 persons have been displaced and 33,100 households and 1,196 schools have been affected. Meanwhile, the government continues to make various interventions in collaboration with the county governments, Kenya Red Cross, and other humanitarian organizations. The ministry added that there are a lot of, and currently 151 Kenya Defence Forces, that is KDF officers, actively engaged in Mai Mahiu, Nakuru County, where 52 deceased persons have been retrieved and 51 people are still missing following a mudslide tragedy. And a meteorological department 7-day forecast has warned that most parts of the nation will continue to get intense rains with thunderstorms. Still on matters floods that are affecting the country, President William Ruto today has chaired a cabinet meeting for the second time this week to deliberate on extra measures to mitigate the floods and devastating effects of floods, mudslide and landslide in many parts of the country. The cabinet noted that more citizens who have been affected by the floods, mudslide and landslides are increasingly receiving help with food and non-food items from the government, working with other partners all over the country, noting that flooding, mudslide, landslide and other extreme weather conditions as a result of climate change, and cabinet resolved that the government from now on will rally the country in implementing measures, programs and still policies that will mitigate the effects of the climate change.
Hivyo watu wa Garissa na watu wa Tana River mnajua kwamba tunawatengenezea hiyo daraja, na sio hiyo daraja peke yake, mnaibu wa rais, pale kwa barabara kutoka Mororo all the way mpaka kwa hapo kwa punda, naita punda nini? Kona punda. Kwani punda hako na kona yake? Hapo kwa kona punda tumesema kwamba haitoshi kutengeneza tu daraja hii. Kwa sababu ya ile mafuriko inafanyika hapo, tumeweka tena pesa bilioni 1.2, 1.2 billion kusaidia kutengeneza barabara mpaka kona punda, ndio itusaidie kwa yale mafuriko yako pale.
Nimetumwa hapa na kiongozi wa nchi yetu, Rais William Samoei Ruto, kuja kulete pole zake na serikali kufuatia mkasa uliotokea hapa Garissa na watu wakakufa na wengine wakaumia, na rais amenituma kusema pole. Mumepokea? Pia nalete pole zangu na familia yangu, na pia pole ya serikali yetu tukufu. Juu ya hayo tumekuja na mawaziri wetu, waziri wa barabara, ndio tukue na mikakati ya vile hii barabara itafunguliwa kwenda jijini Nairobi na kwingineko, na vile waziri ameeleza mambo ya hii bridge tunataka tusiongee mambo yake mwaka mwingine. Tunataka leo ikuwe ndio mara ya mwisho kuongea juu yake. Pia tumekuja na vyakula vya kutosha.
Still focusing on matters floods and inability to continue supporting vulnerable members of the society affected by the floods, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, Cabinet Secretary for Roads Kipchumba Murkomen, and among other government top leaders have today visited Garissa and distributed food to over 1,000 households. During the visit, the DP urged the residents to be extra vigilant during the rainy season and relocate to safer places. Murkomen on his side said that the government has set aside 1.2 Kenya shillings billion for the relocation and construction of the Tana Bridge after it was swept away by floods in order to ease and transportation needs and reduce the losses experienced during the rainy season in the area.
Hivyo watu wa Garissa na watu wa Tana River mnajua kwamba tunawatengenezea hiyo daraja. Na sio hiyo daraja peke yake, mnaibu wa rais. Pale kwa barabara kutoka Mororo all the way mpaka kwa hapo kwa punda, naita punda nini? Kona punda. Kwani punda hako na kona yake? Hapo kwa kona punda tumesema kwamba haitoshi kutengeneza tu daraja hii. Kwa sababu ya ile mafuriko inafanyika hapo, tumeweka tena pesa bilioni 1.2, 1.2 billion kusaidia kutengeneza barabara mpaka kona punda, ndio itusaidie kwa yale mafuriko yako pale.
Tumetumwa hapa na kiongozi wa nchi yetu Rais William Samoei Ruto kuja kulete pole zake na za serikali kufuatia mkasa uliotokea hapa Garissa na watu wakakufa na wengine wakaumia, na rais amenituma kusema pole. Mumepokea? Pia nalete pole zangu na familia yangu na pia pole ya serikali yetu tukufu. Juu ya hayo tumekuja na mawaziri wetu, waziri wa barabara, ndio tukue na mikakati ya vile hii barabara itafunguliwa kwenda jijini Nairobi na kwingineko, na vile waziri ameeleza mambo ya hii bridge tunataka tusiongee mambo yake mwaka mwingine. Tunataka leo ikuwe ndio mara ya mwisho kuongea juu yake. Pia tumekuja na vyakula vya kutosha. Tumekuja na maharagwe, tumekuja na mchele, tumekuja na uji mix, tumekuja na kila kitu kusaidia wale ambaye waliathirika kwa hili janga.
And the Kenya Private Sector Alliance, KEPSA, through its social arm, KEPSA Foundation, has announced a private sector flood response initiative to aid the affected communities during the ongoing floods in the country. The initiative is being implemented with KEPSA members, development partners, and the government. And KEPSA says it recognizes the urgent need for coordinated action to alleviate the suffering and provide critical support to those affected by the floods. The foundation has issued a rallying call to mobilize private sector support for donations towards mitigating flood effects under the Private Sector Flood Responsive Initiative. And now we take a look at matters governance, where President William Ruto has today promoted Lieutenant General Charles Muriu Kahariri to the rank of general and appointed him the new Chief of Defence Forces CDF. President Ruto has also promoted Major General John Mugaravai Oneda to the rank of Lieutenant General and appointed him Vice Chief of the Defence Forces. Lieutenant General John Mugaravai Oneda was the Kenya Air Force commander prior to the appointment, and General Kahariri's appointment comes 2 weeks after the General Francis Ogola died in a copter crash along 9 other military officers. President Ruto has also posted Major General Fatuma Gaiti Ahmed to the Kenya Air Force and appointed her commander, and also posted Major General Paul Owor Otieno to the Kenya Navy and appointed him commander. On the advice of the Defense Council chaired by the Defense Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale, President Ruto has upheld the Council's recommendations and made the following promotions, postings and appointments of the KDF officers. And now we take a look at matters education, where President William Ruto has urged institutions of higher learning to adopt innovation, emerging technologies to enhance access to affordable education. President Ruto said the government is prepared to support universities offering online and virtual learning in the country. He said this would not only enrich the country's human resources, but also foster an inclusive knowledge society, noting that the implementation of a 100,000-kilometer fiber optic network project countrywide is proceeding well and will support online learners, e-commerce and digital jobs in the country. The president made the remarks during the Charter Award ceremony for Tangaza University and Management University of Africa at State House in Nairobi today.
I know that we have been read a long list of people who have congratulated these universities. Let me join that list and congratulate Management University of Africa and also congratulate Tangaza University on attaining this very high standard. As we award these charters to 2 universities, you today get the power and the authority to be able to discharge the responsibilities that these instruments and this charter gives to you. With authority, power comes responsibility. Responsibility to make sure that what you have committed to do indeed becomes the case. That there will be no shortcuts, that there will be no lowering of standards, that you are responsible. And with responsibility comes accountability, that you must be accountable for the graduates that exit from our universities, that they truly will be the men and women that have the qualifications that you will assign them on account of the processes that they will have attained and the marks and qualifications they will have attained in our universities. The challenges of COVID-19 pandemic have underscored the need for our universities to adopt global standards and emphasize online and virtual learning. The government is committed to supporting these initiatives through significant investments from the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology. We've just concluded a countrywide program to roll out 100,000 kilometers more of fiber optic across Kenya. We believe this piece of infrastructure is going to expand fiber optic capabilities to support our education, to support digital learning, to support e-commerce, and to support digital jobs. As universities think about the future, technology, innovation, ICT must be front and center of their focus.
And from that report, we take a short commercial break. We shall come back with more news. Don't go too far.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content, of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Thank you for choosing Hope TV, the channel that brings you hope, entertainment, and inspiration. We value you and would like to serve you better. Talk to us by scanning this QR code on your screen or go to our social media page at Hope TV Kenya and click on the survey link by the name Hope TV Survey. It will just take a few minutes but means the world to us. We value your feedback. Hope TV, look and live.
Welcome back and thank you so much for keeping it here at Hope TV where you look and live. Let's go to the second part of our news tonight, where the national government will release Kenya shillings 454 million to 5 counties before the end of the year 2023-2024 financial year to aid in the completion of the county headquarters. The 5 counties that include Tharaka Nithi County, Lamu, Isiolo, Tana River and Nyandarua counties have had their county headquarters construction stalled since the advent of the devolution, as they have had to contend with the makeshift structures for offices. In a meeting with the Treasury and the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee, IGRTC, the 5 governors signed a deed of transfer for the construction and completion of the stalled county headquarters as directed by the Senate, and will henceforth take over completion of the respective headquarters.
What has befitted the public works, being an arm of national government, is a lack of disbursement of resources to them sometimes. And then as counties, we blame them because they are moving slowly. Sometimes the resources are available on paper, but in reality, they may not be having the real resources. So we are asking on this other side, even when we have taken this responsibility, as much as we are willing also to chip in from our side, all resources come from you. If we don't get our disbursement, there will be nothing to complete the project. So we are asking that we actually this time expedite, because the projects are very old. Some of them as old as almost 10 years, others as old as 5. And you look at the weather condition, we will not be able to achieve what we intended to achieve in the first place. I want to thank Public Works for the much effort they have done. I know they also had some challenges, and also on our side we had challenges beyond us, because we have assemblies who oversight us, and when this arrangement was the way it was not easy for us to go an extra mile to put energies to finalize this county headquarters. But with the current status now, we'll be able to plan ourselves with the resources that you are going to give us, so that whatever else is remaining, we should be able to sit down with our assemblies and commit and finalize this project, so that we can begin to see value for money, and we can also be able to make use of those facilities.
And now we move to Nakuru County, where the motion for the impeachment of Nakuru County Secretary Dr. Samuel Maura, tabled by the Menengai East Member of County Assembly Wilson Mwangi, split the House on a Thursday. The motion split the Assembly into 2 factions, where one allied to Governor Susan Keka is against the motion, while another aggrieved party is after his removal in the office. Maura has been accused of failing to show up before the Assembly committees and allegedly hiring goons for forcefully eject patients and the management of the War Memorial Hospital. Several patients allegedly died during the wrangles, among other accusations.
When the motion was being introduced in the House, is that it used the wrong standing order 67. And therefore, when you cross-check that one with the County Government Act, it contradicts. Therefore, it clearly states that the county secretary can already be dismissed. What the assembly should do is that introduce a motion through standing order 69 to deliberate on the removal of any person. Any person without mentioning the name, it is not clear. In 67, 69, you can remove anybody who is an office holder.
Our friends who wanted to take Dr. Mwora home finally came to their senses at the last minute to realize that we are only persecuting a very innocent man. We were shedding blood for things that does not meet the threshold, because there's a threshold for removing somebody. You know, when you talk about impeachment, you are talking about someone's career. You are destroying. And I think in Kenya, we have an history of those people who have been impeached. It was not fair. It was also something else that I think just creating some commotion and a lot of hot air. I'm sure if I addressed this press about a few days ago, everybody knew that today Mwora was going to go home. But you yourself, as even press people and people who have seen, and even the public, you have seen that this was merely hot air.
And now the Prime Cabinet Secretary and the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Musalia Mudavadi, has issued an urgent call for collective action to address conflict and youth unemployment in African continent. Mudavadi has also expressed concern over the trend of the capital flowing towards conflict zones, saying there is need for scrutiny and international partnerships. Mudavadi also said as active partners in development activities in Africa, he asked the Nordic countries to use the clout and voting strength in institutions like the African Development Fund and the African Development Bank to mobilize vital resources.
Africa is going to be generating 4 million young unemployed people per month for the next decade into the job market. 4 million young people. We are a young continent. Therefore, we must focus on job creation. We must focus on digitalization because these are young, it's a young population. We must give them, captivate them, but also then make them that very productive team. As we speak today, not too long ago, there was a meeting in Paris to raise humanitarian support for Sudan. $2 billion were committed. Now, this is for humanitarian intervention. It's not to build schools, it's not to build hospitals, it's not to build roads or rail, but to deal with conflict. So we must take conflict very seriously going forward.
We now take a look at matters sports, where the FKF Women's Cup gears up to the semi-final stage, set to unfold on Saturday, May 2024 at Dandora Stadium. The action-packed double-header commences with the clash between Zetech Sparks and Kibera Soccer Ladies at 11 a.m. Zetech Sparks advanced to the semis by triumphing over Kisiwa Starlets, while Kibera Soccer beat fellow FKF Women's Premier League side Bungoma Queens to secure the spot. This marks Zetech Sparks' inaugural appearances in the semi-finals, while this with the Kibera Soccer's second consecutive appearance. They will be looking to better third place in the finish from the last season.
Training despite ya rain, tunang'ang'ana kutenayo at least kujiprepare kwa hiyo semi-final, na tunajua itakuwa tough, so try kuprepare tu well. Tukiangalia tunacheza Zetech mara mbili tena, tunacheza cup after cup, tunacheza Zetech tena league. Target yetu vile tulisema ilikuwa kucheza finali, which tuliweza kushinda Bungoma tukakuja semi final, so itakuwa ni tough, itakuwa ni rahisi, so tuna try our best tuweze kushinda, at least tuweze kuproceed to the next level. Hiyo ni finali yenye ilikuwa ni target yetu. Okay, tulikuwa red card ya quarter finals, so keeper atakuwa, Lucy atakuwa. ule alipata red card kwa round of 16 anarudi back kwa team, so tunafeel booster poa. Na zile injuries zetu tulikuwa nazo, tulipata game ya Police bado sijapona. So tuko na 2-1, alikuwa red card, alikuwa suspended, anarudi. Ni Lilian. Target yetu kubwa tumekiwa sana pressure. Target yetu kubwa iko kucheza finali. Kwa tulikuwa na progress kwa la season, tulifika semi final, tukafungwa, tukacheza third place, tukashinda. So target yetu kubwa ni kufika finali. Tukifika finali ndio tuiplania poa.
And for that sports news, we end our news bulletin tonight. Thank you so much for making it time to make sure that you have watched our news watch tonight. To everyone that made it a success, including our editors and our directors, thank you so much. And allow us to wish you a blessed night. My name is Nelius Wanjiru, and our sign language interpreter has been Monica Aching. Have a good night.